All right, we're back on the project, getting a late start today. Had to watch Phil Mickelson win a major at age 50. So good job, Phil. Congratulations. So we got our wood and supplies. Turns out this oak was less costly than CDX plywood, 3/4 inch. This was like $57 a sheet. The CDX plywood was close to $100 a sheet. So we're going with oak. Might be a little heavier than the CDX, but still a quality wood that will work well for our floor. We also got a couple access doors that we're going to put in the floor, and some fiberglass resin and stainless steel screws, and we got some Gorilla adhesive and bolts, and we got a 2x10. So as with many projects, the plan has changed a little bit. What we're going to do is cut this rotted section out and then put in a new section and splice it with some treated plywood. And we're going to put a new piece in here, treated plywood, and then seal all that in with fiberglass resin. So let's get to it, see what we can get done with this late start today. Okay, moving along here. Turns out we were able to get that rotted wood just out of there and leave the fiberglass box intact. And so it's nice to have that rotted wood out of there. And then we've got these cut. We'll see how that fits in there. And we got a second piece that will go something like that. So we'll get this cleaned up and see how good these cuts are. See if we need to trim them up. But nice to get that rotted wood out of there. Check with you later. This is the brand name. But need a machine that could go through like 4 layers of upholstery. Because when you do that, they call it piping. When you do the piping on upholstery, you end up having to go through about 4 layers, so you need something pretty substantial. This machine I got used. Got it at Jones Sew and Vac in Boise. It was only $100. And so, if this thing works, I got a really good deal on it. They had a real nice machine for around $1,300 that I'll show a picture of. But you start spending that kind of money, it kind of defeats the purpose of this whole project, which is to save some dollars and do it yourself. So we're going to fire this thing up and try to run some stitches. All right, got the old Riccar running. We got the thread. Had to YouTube how to thread this thing. It's kind of tricky. Runs up around here, around this thing, down here, then back up, back down, and through some hoops and loops and stuff. And then learned on YouTube what a bobbin was. I guess it's the back part of the thread. You actually have 2 threads. The bobbin down here has a spool of thread. Here's extra spools right here. But the bobbin puts the back stitch in, apparently. And just little things I'm learning along the way. Didn't know what a bobbin was, so, and saw on YouTube how you can spool more thread on your bobbins right here with that attachment. But yeah, we got this hooked up and threaded, and I just ran a test on this sample they gave me. First one wasn't so good. I think what happened on that first go around was you got to make sure your foot is dropped down on the material. I think maybe I had it up, I'm not sure. Other than that, so then we just put it on here. Let's lift that foot up, and we'll make a run right there, see how we do. Learned on YouTube, this is the backup button here for the start and finish a stitch. Make it a little stronger, you back it up a couple times. And then let's give it a run. Using the foot pedal down here to make it go. And so let's make sure, did we drop that foot? Yeah, foot's down. So we back it up. Let's back it up to end that. That's all there is to it. Let's lift up our footer. Make sure that needle is up. Let's see how we did. Wasn't too straight because we're doing it one-handed, but good stitch on the front and the back. And then we backed it up a couple times, make it good and tight. And so I think that was a good first run. So, test run of the Riccar. It's the first stage of learning how to do some upholstery work. Chat with you later. This is our sewing setup. Built this this table here so we have a little platform for run the upholstery across. Coming up over this bump would not be good to get a straight line, so this is just a 2 foot by 4 foot pre-laminated shelf. Got at Home Depot, and I cut it down to about 3 foot, three foot or so, because we didn't need it sticking way out. And this is the Riccar sewing machine that we'll be using, and we ordered some more feet. Ordered what's called a walking foot that is supposed to mechanically walk the top part of this, similar to how this pulls the material along the bottom. This walking foot I ordered will pull the material on the top side, and that's on order. We'll see how that ends up working for us. Just part of the project. You gotta get everything in place and before you can start moving along. Peace out. All right, it's getting late. We're going to call it a night. Did pretty good today. Got the underfloor framed up pretty good. And that's what it looks like. We spliced the old with the new using bolts. And we're going to come back and fiberglass all that down there. Make it watertight. And put a stringer across the middle, 2x4 stringer, because that's where the seam's going to be with our top board. So I wanted to have a good place to screw down so we don't have a weak point in the seam. But yeah, that's what it looks like. I think it turned out pretty good. It's not ideal. It's not the best scenario, but if it gets us 40 years, that's all we need. 40 more years. That ought to do it. Peace out.